David Hockney, one of the most influential artists of the 20th and 21st centuries, has died at the age of 88. He was born in England but spent much of his life in California and was most famous for his brightly coloured paintings of swimming pools shimmering in the Los Angeles sunshine. Our arts and entertainment correspondent Katie Spencer takes a look back at his life and legacy.
Portrait of an artist, pool with two figures, 24.
One of the most influential British artists of recent times, David Hockney was the 60s radical who turned painting on its head. In a career which included more than 400 solo exhibitions, his work has been seen by millions who he took on the journey with him. Much of his art a record of where he lived his life, from the shimmering blue pools of Los Angeles, the lush woodland of Yorkshire, to the blossoms of Normandy.
I don't brood about past work too much. I'm much too keen on what I'm going to do next week, actually.
He experienced fame like a pop star, doing for art what the Beatles did for music. Cigarette in one hand, tea in the other, a gifted draftsman, original, experimental. An artist who produced some of the most iconic images of our times over the course of 6 decades.
When I paint, I feel I'm 30. I do, actually. It's only when I stop I feel my age.
At a young age, the working-class boy from Bradford said he was sure of only 2 things: that he wanted to be an artist and that he liked boys, failing his grammar school exams deliberately so he wouldn't be encouraged to drop the subject.
You only got into the art classes if you were in the lower forms. So I just arranged that myself.
At 16, he announced he was off to art school. His foot through the door, that was it. Learning technique at the Bradford School of Art before securing a scholarship at the Royal College of Art, which ended up featuring him alongside Peter Blake in its exhibition Young Contemporaries, prompting critics to announce the arrival of British pop art. At the same time, he was approached by a major gallery asking to represent him, his rebellious streak coming to the fore when the RCA criticised his lack of attendance at lectures.
I said, well, that's OK. I can leave quietly by the V&A exit.
Arguing his painting spoke for itself, he drew his own diploma instead. Although the college eventually changed its rules to award him a real one, they couldn't not. A force of nature, his paintings of gay lovers painted before homosexuality in the UK was decriminalised could easily have landed him in jail. His courage at the time, inspirational to many.
In Bohemia, you could be anything, so I didn't really care about the law.
In the swinging 60s, plenty wanted to be seen with this peroxide hipster. Aged just 25, he had his first sell-out solo exhibition. Then, much to some people's surprise, he upped sticks in search of Bohemia, relocating to Los Angeles, where he produced some of his most iconic paintings.
I get bored in England. You always feel you can never do anything or you can't change anything. That's the way I feel. In America, I always feel freer. Also, I always feel, in California anyway, I start using brighter colours and I paint broader. And instead of painting like that, I paint like that more.
While his subject matter stateside might have reflected the happy excesses of the Californian good life, the Bradford boy never let his work ethic slip. I was never much of a party boy, he said. I didn't mind being seen that way, but I am actually a worker. And that industrious approach to feeling that, as his job, he should put the hours in each day was something that stayed with the artist into his 80s. In 1972, he made this, now considered one of the most important paintings of the 20th century, which more than 45 years later set an auction record as the most expensive piece by any living artist at that time, fetching over £70 million.
That's one of the quickest paintings I've ever done. It was painted in just over 2 weeks. So we worked 18 hours a day on it. And I like the idea, you see, of a realistic painting, essentially, of a real figure looking at another figure, but the other figure is distorted naturally by the water.
And he was skilled at painting people as he was on plein air, a tradition dating back to the masters of the 18th century, capturing brilliant landscape in paint and occasionally on film.
One day, one man shouted, "Why are you just filming those trees as though they were all the same?" Well, they're all different, really, aren't they? Everyone, they're like us, all different. We're all different.
It didn't dampen his appeal, continuing to remain relevant, one of the most universally loved artists of our time.
Why did you get so fascinated with swimming pools and water?
Well, because water is a surface that's elusive. Fascination with where the eye stops to see something.
Courted by the establishment, he turned down a request to paint the late Queen and in 1990 rejected a knighthood, dryly responding to being appointed to the exclusive Royal Order of Merit in 2012 that he had no comment to make, other than it's nice to know they were not prejudiced against the older smoker.
I'll just have a cigarette.
Smoking for Hockney, a symbol of 60s freedom and liberation.
And bossiness too. If I'd have put end bossiness now, well, that would have been a bit too bossy, wouldn't it?
I don't value prizes of any sort, he once said. I value my friends. Prizes of any sort are a bit suspect.
I actually think I'm quite overrated, really. I mean, I'm not blind. I'm aware of, you you can do things better than others, but I tend to think generally it's sort of quite overrated.
David Hockney, painter, comic, genius, star of swinging London of the 60s. What makes him run?
He placed more value on the idea of art bringing people joy, which his did. You must look, he would say, until your eyes ache, capturing with clarity much more than a photograph could ever see.
A bigger splash goes beneath the surface to show the private world of his paintings.
An artist who not only leaves a permanent mark on popular culture, but one whose great talent subtly challenged us to look.
Good old Monet, I mean, he loved life. It's joie de vivre that keeps you going, and its lack of joie de vivre will kill you. They should put it on notices everywhere, even tell it to children. And so now I'm going for a smoke, actually. We'll end. I'm going off for a smoke.
David Hockney, one of the most important painters of our time, a modern master. Katie Spencer, Sky News.